One, two, three, Rocky.
One, two, three. All right, we're live. Welcome to another episode of Hacks, Tips, and Tricks for Real Estate Agents. Here to help you streamline your business and make you more efficient in becoming a realtor. So, welcome everybody. My name is Hallie McCrory, realtor and team lead in San Angelo and Dallas, Texas. Leading the Empower Real Estate Group, expansion team of EXP Realty, host for American Dream TV, and coach for Tarek El Musa's real estate team. And got this podcast now for a year, which is crazy. And I do it with my lovely co-hosts. I know, I'm like, which way is it? Casey Stiers, downtown guru, but really just expert on all things real estate in North Carolina. Yeah. And she is also a host for American Dream TV as well. So welcome her on too. And then today we have Isaiah Colton on, founder of Ren 360 Inc. out of Rochester, New York. Super excited to have him on. As you guys have probably guessed, if you listen to any of our previous episodes, I love the marketing aspect of real estate. And this is Isaiah's bread and butter. So we're excited to have him on to talk more about this. So welcome, Isaiah. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, me too. So tell us, give us a little bit about your background, how you got into this. Were you already in real estate or already in marketing?
Yeah, good question. So my marketing background started in 2007, where I transitioned from being involved in a direct sales company and building teams for direct sales to working for a digital marketing company. And it was a startup company. They were trying to compete with the Yellow Pages back then and bring the Yellow Pages online. Mm-hmm. And it was a really interesting project because I learned so much about digital marketing and just marketing in general. And we were servicing 100 different home service industries. So they're all industries in home service, and we were generating leads for them and doing other things like SEO and all that fun stuff. And I really got a kind of a taste of what it was like to run small business. So even though I wasn't the majority shareholder, I was building that business from the ground up, and just phenomenal experience. We ended up hitting number 50 on the Inc. 5000 list our fifth year together. And so it was just a great experience. And then how I got involved in real estate specifically is I started doing investment properties. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to generate my own leads because I was having a tough time just finding them through realtors and other strategies. So I bought this course where it taught you how to do yellow letters. I don't know if you guys remember yellow letters or know what they are, but they're a handwritten letter on a yellow piece of paper. And then what you do is you give it to a printer, and it looks like you did a handwritten letter to a specific target audience, and you mail it to them. And this target audience was distressed properties, and people, so I would send it out to distressed property. And I just remember the day, even though I wasn't in residential real estate yet, but I was on the investor side. And I remember just the feeling of letting go of the first $2,000 of my money, not knowing if this thing was going to work. And that first feeling, I'll never forget it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have the money, but this is still is this going to work or is this going to bomb? And then about, after the mailers went out and whatever, 3 days later, all of a sudden my phone started ringing off the hook, and I ended up getting 300 phone calls from that mailer. And, wow. And I just got hooked. I just got hooked on the whole process of lead generation, lead follow-up, lead conversion. I just got hooked on it. And so I geeked out on it like crazy. I just read every book that I could on the topic of marketing, sales, and team building. And as I was doing that, I got a call from one of the realtors I used to refer leads out to. And he's like, hey, me and my partner we want to start up our own boutique brokerage, and we want you to be the CEO. And I'm like, huh? And my son was born. Just born. So he was about 6 months old. And so I had the fun conversation of going to my wife saying I was going to leave my job, my 6-figure job, and become an entrepreneur with two guys. So you can imagine how well that conversation went. And she's like, well, I tell you what, you got 6 months to figure it out. And then if you can't figure it out, then I'd ask you to reconsider. I'm like, all right, okay. So we went at it. And so essentially I got I took over as the majority owner of the brokerage, and we kind of all complement each other. We did 151 transactions our first year with the three of us, and then we launched a broker leads program because we had more leads than we knew what to do with. And that's kind of what really put us and me on the map in a big way, because that broker leads program, we ended up literally moving billions of dollars through through that broker leads program. And then 2018, we hit the Inc. 5000, number 308 on the Inc. 5000 through our brokerage and the brokers leads program. And so since then, we've kind of transformed our company to what now know as Ren 360. And our mission is to help realtors, team leaders, and brokers draw more business from their database using AI and digital marketing, and then building on that foundation through other lead gen strategies.
Yes. Okay. Super glad that you're on to talk about that, because I personally am somewhat, I have a ton of people in my CRM, but I haven't been doing really much with like newsletters or campaigns and stuff like that. And I think I'm not the only one in that boat as an agent either. So
yeah, I agree with her on that. So
it's a struggle. And because there's a lot going on between what tech platform to use, the complexity of the CRM. It may have all the tools, it may not, to do what you want to do. And let's face it, we didn't get involved in real estate to become tech experts. And so it creates this conflict, because you have to have really good technology set up to make it easy enough to do it all and to work. And so that's why a lot of people don't do it, because between producing content and the technology to deliver the content on a consistent basis and having everything structured, it can be a giant challenge that just creates a massive amount of friction in our businesses. So I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I have. That's why that's why I created it, because it was driving me nuts. So
okay, let me back up a second. So when they brought you on, it was CEO, you said?
Yeah. So I'm the founder and CEO of Ren 360. Yep.
Okay. So were you, when you joined this brokerage, were you also selling real estate, or were you just?
I was. I actually didn't start off. I didn't have my license when I first got involved. But then I got into it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about Ren 360 now. Like when a client comes in, or maybe a real estate agent, tell us about that journey of what they'd go
on. So basically the journey is like, you got to get your database organized, and you have to get your stages and your pipelines built out. And that's the first part of what we really consult and do for them. Because most people's databases are in multiple CRMs. Like, number one, big problem, because how the heck do you do a modern day marketing plan if your leads are everywhere?
Right.
And how do you and so our message is, your database you need to treat your database like your bank account, because what's going on in your database is a future of what your bank account's going to look like 90 days from now. Or whatever it may be. And so and that was our biggest problem as we were growing our brokerage, that we were spending all this money on leads, right? We all had our spheres, but we just weren't, it was just all over the place. It kind of looked like laundry day on Sunday in our CRM, right? Where just clothes are just like everywhere. That's how our database was. It was chaotic. And I asked the team, I go, how much money are we losing right now? How many transactions are we losing? How much opportunity are we losing by not having our database organized and having our speed to lead and our follow-up set up? And it was a giant number. It was a six-figure number is what we calculated. So we're like, we got to really focus on this.
Yeah.
So that's the first step is just to make sure your database is super organized, broken down by stages and by lead type. And then from there, the next step is getting your speed to lead campaign set up.
Okay.
And which the reason why that's important, because if you don't have email, text, or AI, or some combination of or an inside sales agent or an agent, some combination of that or all of the above, actually reaching out in the first 5 minutes. then the conversion just dramatically drops. So we help them develop good content that has a 10 by 10 campaign, or so 10 touches over 10 days. So that way they have really rock solid speed to lead. And usually they'll get 30 to 50% of all of their leads will respond in some way within the first 10 days. So
are you using something like a ManyChat or do you have like your own kind of AI tool?
It's our own marketing automation AI tool.
Okay.
That we plug into. They can either use it as a CRM or it can plug into another CRM that they're currently using. So we can actually map it out so everything translates over to their current CRM.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So is it like kind of like a little AI chatbot type deal, or? So
we lead with email and text message, just regular automation.
Okay.
And it's a very advanced tool called it's falls in the world of conversational AI, and it'll probably blow your minds because I wish we could listen to a phone call on this because it's wild.
Yeah.
But the AI actually sounds like a human being, and it will call and it will have a full-blown conversation and have handle objections as if they were an inside sales agent, and it's really just AI. It's like not even a human being, but you wouldn't know it if I didn't tell you it was a human being.
It's so scary.
Yeah. And so what's crazy too is you're not limited by the employee showing up. You're not limited by their attitude. You're not limited by their, if they know their objections or don't know, or if you hired an agent on your team, if they don't know their objections, or if they decide not to call your leads, it literally does exactly what you tell it to do. And it just does it with amazing accuracy, and it'll book an appointment right in your calendar.
Wow.
So it's a combination of actual AI and marketing automation. So the marketing automation leads first, and then whoever's interacting with the marketing automation, we assign those leads to the AI agent. It's literally your own agent that's just AI. So
are people using this for real estate investing as well, like investors?
Yeah, it's probably the most disruptive technology that has come out in AI, conversational AI.
Yeah.
And because you can program it to have a conversation around anything. It could be your coach or your counselor if you wanted it to. Like if you had a professional counselor, it could tell it. You could program it, and you could call it and have a conversation with it, and it would talk to you for 45 minutes. Like it was.
That's so.
Literally for my clients. Yeah. Like we have an upgrade to our service where I do coaching. I do masterminds.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm actually programming it right now I'm downloading all my content and my books and everything into it. So that way my coaching clients, my VIP clients can actually ask it a question. It'll just answer the question like I would or better.
Yeah.
Because the answer will be exactly like the content that I created.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
And so how big it is, it's so if you remember, I don't know if you remember when the whole conversation about lead conversion started happening, where it wasn't about lead generation got easier. Now the struggle was like lead conversion.
Right.
That conversation started to happen about 10 years ago, and it's really picked up since. Well, what helped with lead conversion was an inside sales agent. For a lot of realtors, a lot of loan officers, a lot of team leaders, they would hire an inside sales agent. And that's why our brokerage blew up, is because we had a whole bunch of inside sales agents that would call for us. And so that's how we just blew up so fast, is because that was our competitive advantage. We had an inside sales team. Well, now the next competitive advantage is people don't pick up the phone as much, and finding good quality workers is really tough. Would you get ladies agree with that? Like finding good quality people to actually work
in all aspects of my life. It's hard.
All aspects, right? Not just an agent that
everything we
own on your team, but like everything in between. It's like, and so where the disruption is going to come is because of that problem. and the AI is actually going to be more dependable, reliable, and get better results for a couple $100 a month to $500 a month is the $3,000 a month employee that was calling on your database, or an agent that you're paying $1,000 a month to generate leads and you can't get your agent to call the leads.
Yeah.
Or you don't have time to call the leads, and so you're losing $100,000 in commissions a year, or more. And because you don't have marketing automation and this AI technology set up, that's the disruption. So there's gonna be a multi-billion-dollar transition here with this topic we're talking about with automation, and conversational AI. The transfer of wealth is going to be insane between the companies that use it in every area.
Yeah. Well, and we've already kind of been seeing, at least we're both with eXp Realty, and I guess it's not really eXp, because this is really through KV Core, the CRM that we're provided by.
Yeah.
And we've got a little AI kind of chatbot messaging people on there.
Yeah, that's a great start.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it more so I'm currently trying to hire or find a good, I guess, appointment setter is what I've been calling it.
Yeah.
People who call leads for me for real estate investing, specifically with creative financing. So I'm wondering if this would be like a good option for that too.
Yeah, it would be a great option for that.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And the thing about KV Core is it is incredibly powerful with all the things that it can do, but it's complex to figure it all out.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where we would come in, is we would map all your stages out, get your CRM organized, and then all your automation workflows, and making sure everything's working well, and just making sure you're staying at the cutting edge of content, digital marketing, and just the whole lead conversion part of it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it would work well for that too. So that's a big conversation. And where my conviction is when we made this transformation for our brokerage, the amount of leads and the amount of time that my agents and inside sales agents had to do with outreach dropped almost by half. Because instead of waking up in the morning and having to just blind call through a list, or wondering where your next lead is going to come from, they'd have this, what we call a smart list. And the smart list they would literally just be like, oh, these 10 people interacted with the content, let me follow up with them. And so we call this smart prospecting. And so literally, the time, money, and energy that cut down for our productivity with our team and our brokerage was insane. And so you brought up eXp. I'm actually partnered with Lee Moriatis with the Lux Group. So we're partners, and so we use this technology to help grow our eXp team too. So
okay, cool. Okay,
so we're in the same world, eXp, baby. So
love it. Yes. Okay, even better. And who was your partner? I'll have to look them up.
Lee Moriatis.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's the front of him, and Julie are the front of the brand, and I'm kind of like the coach, the operations, and the marketing.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, love it. Family here.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about the CRM and email side. Are you incorporating this into social media and stuff as well?
Yeah. So the next conversation usually is social media is an extension of my database, essentially.
Yeah.
Or it should be, right?
Right.
And so the big struggle is how do I produce good social media content? And so how we've helped people overcome that struggle is giving them a script and dialogues or topics that they can talk about, and doing what we call a long form video designed for YouTube.
Okay.
And then what we recommend is you take that long form video, and Rent360 has a tool where you can upload it, the video in a tool, and it'll automatically chop it up into 10 different
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Probably there's other tools like it. We actually use a third party
Yeah.
to power that tool. But what's really super awesome about it is now with, let's say it takes you 15 minutes or a half hour to shoot that one video. Now you're able to take that video and repurpose it and create, 10 pieces of content, short form video. And the tool will even do like a blog and other things as well. And so now you have a whole content marketing strategy, organic content marketing strategy. So instead of taking hours to figure all this stuff out, you can do one video, press some buttons, have a video editing team go in there and edit it, and then disperse it. There's another tool in there where you click and it'll automatically shoot the video on all of your socials too.
Wow.
So
that would make my life easy because I've been trying to use is it chat or
ChatGPT
or cut chat or cut.
Oh, Clip. I think it's Clip.
Well, okay. So there's video.
It's
.ai and there's Opus Clip.
Yeah, Opus Clip. Yeah, both of those are really good. We actually use both of those to power our software.
CapCut.
CapCut. Yep.
And I have not figured out how to use it yet. I spend hours, so then I just go back to the old school, click on the video, and then I shrink it and then pray it turns out something good.
Yeah.
And upload it. So
right. Yeah. So this you take the video and upload it, but when you upload it, it would send it out to all of the socials.
Yeah, you're just like eliminating all the steps, basically.
Yeah. We try to eliminate as many steps as possible. And if you don't want to do it on your own and you want somebody to hold you accountable, you can actually hire a success coach to meet with you once a month and do your video with you and coach you through it. And it's just another upgrade that we have if you need help being more consistent with your weekly videos or your monthly videos.
And this is through your Run 360, right?
Yeah, it's all through Run 360. It's a part of our value ladder. So
is it run360.com or
run360.io, and then you go to that site and then you can just start.
.io?
Yep.
Okay, that's why, because I was getting like runner clubs and run around the world and that.
Yeah, www.run360.io, and then if you can just start a free trial, and somebody will reach out to you.
Cool.
Check it out.
I'm gonna put that in my notes to look up after this.
Yes.
Awesome. So that's your thoughts on social media, is doing the long form and then AI to basically shoot out little small ones.
Yeah. Thank you so regardless of what tools you're using, it's starting with long form is the best way to do it because you can create other content from there. So whether you're using ChatGPT to create your script, and I have a whole thing we could dive into on how to create good scripts through ChatGPT, but like you start there and then you can create all of your other content from there. So what I do is I take my long form video, I ask ChatGPT, I identify the problem I'm trying to speak to. I have a formula called it's the persuasive content formula, and a lot of people don't know to ask it to use the science of persuasion, because it'll produce a totally different video for you if you ask it to use the science of persuasion, and it will actually map out the different elements. There's 7 different elements of persuasion that you need to have in your video. It'll map out those different elements. It'll do your script like that based on the problem and your target audience and all that. And so now what happens is when you do that, sometimes you got to play around with it. So now what I do with ChatGPT is that once I have that long form video, then I'll take that script and I'll make another chat in my ChatGPT, and I'll say, okay, now take this long form video and chop it up into shorter form videos, 10 videos. Take the same topic, but turn it into 10 shorter videos.
Yeah.
And then I take it again, I say, turn it into a blog. And I take it again and I say, turn it. So I have different chats for each type of content that I want to create. So literally I can have all my content created and hand it off to my marketing assistant within less than 20 minutes. And that content will last me for at least a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Or more. So depending on how much, I'm on an obsessive roll right now because I took social media for granted for up until like 3 years ago. And my whole niche was like outbound calling.
Yeah.
That's how we grew our business.
Uh-huh.
That's what we did. And then I woke up during COVID, and it was illegal in our state to make outbound phone calls.
And you're like, what?
For cold calls. And I was like, it changed. So I was like, whoa, like I can't. So now I'm absolutely geeking out about this and building as many tools into Ren 360 to help people as I'm geeking out on it. So
yeah. I love it though.
Yes, same.
I hope I'm not going too fast or giving too much information.
No, I'm trying to take notes while you're going.
No, this is really good.
And if you want a model of somebody outside of our industry that just did this really well, that I got coaching from, it's Alex Ramosi. You probably might have seen his name.
Yeah.
This is all he does.
Yeah.
This is all he does. He takes a long form video. He finds really good topics, and he keeps his topics with a certain vein of interest. And then he takes he does a video shoot once a month. He produces all his content, and then he hands it off to his marketing team. That's all he's doing to create his organic social traffic. And he just optimizes it and gets it better and better and better each time he shoots, as they give him feedback and he gives them feedback. And he's developed a following of over 1 million followers in 3 years doing this strategy.
So when you have a marketing assistant, are you actually hiring like somebody that knows marketing well, or is it more like virtual assistants, or do you have the marketing assistant and they have their own virtual assistants?
Yeah. So you ready for this? This is where the world's getting crazy.
I'm scared.
In a good way for realtors and small business owners that don't have big budgets, right? And want to do some of this stuff. I used to have a full in-house marketing team on my payroll. And this is actually and I would use them for our team with EXP, and I would also use them for obviously Ren 360.
Yeah.
And my payroll for that, just for the marketing team, was probably about $40,000 a month or so.
Wow. And
since we've installed all of these systems, the intelligence is being run by the AI. So now what I'm recommending, anyone who's building a team, the strategist is always in-house, but the tactician can be a VA, because the VA has somebody who's smarter than even the strategist time to help them build everything out. And that's AI. That's ChatGPT. So where it was a little bit harder to like get a virtual assistant up and running, or maybe to trust if they were going to do it the right way, as long as you give them the guidelines, of what they need to do, and you tell them how this is what they need to do. Now I have 20 VAs for the same cost, and the work they're putting out is just as good, if not better, because of the AI, at double and triple the rates.
Wow.
And soon I won't even need that many people. I'll have the team down to probably 7 people as we get it more honed in. So it's an exciting for the entrepreneur, or maybe the realtor that's just getting into the business right now. It's such an exciting place to be, because if they can learn this stuff, they can literally run a multi-channel marketing program and a really, really powerful sales and marketing plan to get to that 6 and 7 figures with a small, lean team, maybe an agent or two, and an assistant and a VA. And it's so much easier to do that than it's ever been before in human history. And I'm so excited to see the next wave of realtors that embrace this, be able to do it. And you can do it on a budget that is a lot less risky when you're starting to build a team too.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying, so you have a strategist, and then the VAs deploy everything with the AI.
Yep.
Okay. So would you be like our strategist person then?
Yeah. So my particular role in the company now is even though my title's CEO, I don't really act like a CEO. I have a COO that runs everything, and I spend all my time into marketing innovations and coaching. That's where I spend most of my time. So I play as the strategist in my company, and I have a marketing coordinator who is also the strategist. They spend most of the time with the actual team.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you like, let's give an example of for a real estate team or small team.
Yeah.
If you had an admin who was, like a really strong admin that was in house, and the admin, you came together and you came up with what you wanted for a marketing strategy. You asked ChatGPT to type out the marketing plan for the month. You could then give it over to the virtual assistant, and you can, there's a lot of great VA companies too that in real estate that already have trained VAs that have enough knowledge to go to work tomorrow for you. And as long as you give them the marketing plan, which ChatGPT used to take me hours to type up my monthly marketing plan, that like, because I was really in depth. I literally finished my monthly marketing plan in like 30 minutes now. And I just hand it over to the VA team, and they just knock it out, and they just ask questions along the way. It's amazing.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you don't have that marketing assistant or that person in house, the rainmaker, you might have to be the strategist and work on coming up with the plan with the VA. But like what's the alternative, right? Like the alternative is like not participating in any of this. And now the VA can take the plan that you've come up with, and they can just use ChatGPT and whatever stack of tools that you're using to execute your marketing plan, and they'll just go do it.
Yeah, pretty crazy. God, I feel like my wheels are spinning.
Yeah. That tends to happen when I'm on podcast.
Yes. No, it's great though. It's great.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and basically it's just like having little employees for everything, but it's all the virtual assistants, and then you can have the ChatGPT help you with the strategy and the plan. So
or whatever tools they use. And if anyone who goes to isaiahcolton.com, I have a blueprint. It's a 100-page blueprint that breaks down this entire process step by step on how to build it all.
Okay.
How to do it.
Cool.
Colton.com. They'll say download the playbook, and it's completely free. You can literally just follow from the beginning to the end, and it will tell you how to build your database out, do your lead generation, do your lead follow-up, do your social media.
Where is this at?
On isaiahcolton.com, that we see the little ticker at the bottom.
Yes.
And then he said he's like a download free playbook space on there.
And I'm like stalking you right now. I'm all over your page. I just followed you all like a straight up stalker here. I'm now not friend requested. Anyways, I'm following you on Instagram.
Yeah. I know you, Casey, you have a book coming out soon. You said, right? I'm excited to see that, and then maybe we could maybe I could help promote it too.
Yes.
So
all to help you, because I'm in the beginning stages, like I said, and I made the mistake of looking into a few ghostwriters, and now they're blowing my phone up. So it's a lot, and I'm overwhelmed, and I just want to stop. But I've put in all the time to write the book, so I need to do something with the book.
I hear you there. That's a whole nother. I could tell you some more stories on that. So
with you if you have like whenever.
I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to. If I can prevent anybody the pain of what I just went through with my ghostwriter, I'd be happy to help them.
That's why I'm writing the book, to prevent other people from going through the same pain that I went through in life. To get where I am.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful to give somebody a roadmap on how to transition into full-time real estate the right way.
Yeah. I know, because I've like looked back and I'm like, I could have gone about that a much smarter way.
Yes.
And that's why we made this podcast, though. It's like I feel like when we do our own like series and stuff as well. But it's just, there's so much that I wish I could have. I'm like, this would have been so much easier for me. And like, it's nice to help others to be more efficient once you've learned like the correct way to do something.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, there's a lot of reward, at least for me, for that.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people unnecessarily struggle or get knocked out of the box or waste a lot of time, money, and energy.
Yeah.
That they don't have to, or don't have enough money to show for all their hard work. All of the above. So I actually have a financial formula that I teach and follow that I'm super passionate about. that maybe we could do a podcast on sometime, or I could break it down now if we have time. But
yeah, no, please. Yeah. Would love to hear about it.
so one of the benefits that I had when I actually left my job was I was taught by a really successful individual on how to manage my money.
Mm-hmm.
And it came off of a disaster. So when I went to this job, I lost everything because I was horrible at managing money, and I was spending more money than I probably should. And so I was thinking about leaving my job again. And he's like, so I ran into him at the gym. Make a long story short, he was like one of those secret millionaires that you'd never know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like so humble. And he just starts talking to me. He's like, hey, so, what do you want to do? Well, I'm at this job. I'll probably be there for 3 to 5 years, and I want to venture off on my own. He's like, oh, cool. So what's your financial plan to be able to do that? I kind of had this look on my face like, huh?
Yeah.
Like,
What?
Like,
I was just gonna do it.
What do you mean? Like, I was just gonna do it. Like, so he's like, no, but seriously, like, you sound like you work really hard at this job and you're making good money. Like, like, do you have a plan? And I'm like, well, I've read some books and stuff, but it just all seems complicated. He goes, all right, let's go get a cup of coffee and let's just talk. And I'm like, well, do you mind me asking, like, I don't mean to be a jerk, but like, what are your qualifications? And he started talking about like his whole journey. And he was like this really successful contractor. And he was a multi-millionaire.
Uh-huh.
So make a long story short, he said, here's what you do. He's like, every paycheck that you get, pick a percentage that you're going to save. And then what you do is you save up to 3 to 6 months, and then you don't touch it. It doesn't matter how big the percentage is. And then what you do is then you keep doing the same thing, but you move it over to investing, into an investing bucket, and let that build up. And then when you're ready, find something to invest in, whether it's real estate or whatever it may be. So at the time I was in massive debt because I was coming off of a really bad situation. And so I couldn't do a lot. It was just very little. But then as things got better for me, I kept saving. And then after about 3 years of following this plan, my income got bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept my lifestyle. I still, everyone wants nice things, right? So I still had a nice lifestyle, but I always made sure that I was able to save more than I was spending. And I was able to incrementally grow the amount of money that I was saving. So eventually I got it up to the point where my income was in the 6 figures. So, and I lived off about 60% of my income. And so 40% of my income was going into my investing.
Right.
And
this was real estate for you at the time, right?
Real estate. And that's how I had the money to be doing real estate.
Yeah.
And so by the time that I actually left my job, I was already, my net worth was just under $1 million.
Wow.
So that was the advantage that I had. And and people were like, well, but when I started, it was just a little bit, and I just stayed disciplined. And how that translated is I ran our brokerage the same way. I ran our business the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So the formula that I teach is, you have to have a certain amount of money. Your business is your baby.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that you can always feed your baby.
Yeah.
So that's the mindset. And so it's a profit first mindset. And so you do what you need to do to live comfortably, but you have to make sure whatever that dollar amount is, you hell or high water, you save it. Yeah. And you put it back into your business. And so we did that. And we agreed as owners, that we would never take, after we paid ourselves, whatever profit was left, we would never take more than 50% out as owner profits. Mm-hmm. That was our agreement. So we kept the other 50% in, and we turned $300,000 that we made our first 2 years. We used that to start up the broker-to-broker referral program. And that $300,000 investment turned into a company that was worth $20 million. Wow. So we had an outside assessment of $20 million. And then we took that and we just kept following the 50% formula. So even today, we never take more than 50% of our owners' income, and the rest we're investing back into something in some way, shape, or form. So it's a simple formula. Not always it's the discipline to follow it, but literally anybody in real estate gets to the point where they're making high six figures can within 5 years can become a millionaire with that formula. Yeah. So I hope that wasn't too long, but it's so exciting. And I've seen people in our mastermind group that are in real estate for 20 years. They've made really good money, but they don't have as much as they want to show for it. But one of my students, Benjamin Lang, he's out of Michigan. He started this process 3 years ago, and he almost has $250,000 saved up now in his business, and he's living a very good life. He grew his transactions from 22 transactions to about 150 transactions, but he's been saving money on the formula along the way as he's continuing to build. And now he's into the point where he's going to be able to hire somebody to run his team for him with that savings. So he's got that's kind of his next move to reinvest, and he's continuing to do that process. And so I'm super passionate about this topic because there's so many people, they work so hard, and even people that are making good money, right?
Yeah.
People that are making really good money, but I ask this question to my students all the time: how many people want to be financially free? And they're like, yes. And then I ask the same question my mentor did: what's your financial plan to do it? Right?
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Right? And it's not their fault. I don't think we talk about this enough.
Yeah. Especially in real estate, we definitely don't.
Yeah, it's all about the transaction number, right? It's all about the volume number. It's all about that number. And if you look at that, if you're not careful, that can actually drive you out of business if you're not paying attention to, and you're just going through for a top line number because it's attractive. Yeah. So you know how that, being in the team leader world, right? So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And my financial advisor is always joke. He's like, realtors and doctors are always the butt of the jokes in the financial planning world, because you guys don't know how to save money ever and just spend it all. Like,
part of what makes us good at what we do is also can be our kryptonite sometimes too, right?
And how to spend.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that I love that. Well, and that's kind of why we got involved with, or at least for me, why I got involved with EXP, because I felt like they made a better plan for agents than other brokerages like that, and gave more opportunities.
Oh my gosh. If you take advantage of their stock plan and you reinvest back into their stock plan, I've done the math on that over 10 years. And if somebody's going to be in real estate in, over 10 years anyway, and let's say you're averaging 50 transactions, or whatever the number is over 10 years, and you take you program it so it's reinvesting, it's insane what your even just your stock can be worth in 10 years.
Yeah. Well, and even just I'm only 2 years in, and mine has just gone crazy. I mean, just what with us joining the S&P 600, like the small cap and stuff, that's when I really noticed a difference. But yeah, it's like I don't. Maybe I do want to sell real estate the rest of my life, but I want to make that a choice. I don't want to be on the hamster wheel the rest of my life.
Correct.
Yeah. So, I think people should try to plan not to, right? They should have a goal. It's not for everybody. I shouldn't say that.
Always not a must.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, and for us, that was our plan from day one: is how quickly can we get out of production?
Yeah.
And but that's not for everybody. I know that, but it's eventually what's the next step, right? If that's not the plan, what is the next step?
Yeah.
Right? How can you truly become financially free? And I've seen people do it where, but I have seen people stay in production, and they've created unbelievable wealth for themselves too. But they had a really good investment vehicles that they took their money and they invested it into other things. So I have a guy in our world, he's 70 years old now. He's still doing some insane amount of transactions, and he's got a real small team, but he's been super smart about investing, into other things over the years. And that's how he made his wealth. But the EXP vehicle definitely makes it a lot easier to to develop a wealth creation plan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Love it. Yeah. Well, mine's always real estate, but my husband is, he's telling me he's going to investing in watches now. I'm like,
That's the niche. Cool.
okay, well, better work.
Hey, you know what? You never know unless you try, right? As long as you're
I'm like, well, maybe invest in one for me too.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
You deserve a really nice watch, right? Maybe invest one in you first. Right?
I did say that, and he's like, well, women's watches aren't. I'm like, okay, of course they're not.
That is awesome.
I'll start investing in Birkin bags then. Thanks.
That's right.
Or high heels, Louis shoes.
Yeah.
No,
I'm glad you brought that up for sure.
Yeah.
That was
well, yeah. I mean, the high heels need to be in the weekly budget, right? Like it's got to be.
yeah.
If it's not, there's a problem, hubby. You know?
Yeah. Very much.
So are there any other aspects to Ren 360 that we haven't talked about that you want to cover?
Yeah, I think the world of support is very different. And so we have a VIP mastermind group. So when people come into the community and they want to make a transition from becoming a solo entrepreneur or maybe they're running a small team and they want to learn how to run a big team or something in between, we have a VIP mastermind group that frames that entire process out. And I basically map out how I had to, from 2014 to 2018, I had to learn how to manage 100 employees from zero.
Wow.
From zero employees. And I made so many mistakes. I almost went through, it was insanity. So I basically teach people what not to do when they're building a team and how to make sure you're leading with technology, your technology first business. Yeah. Because that's what's going to give you the competitive advantage in a world where it's like so much competition outside of personality and hard work, which are important. And understanding the psychology of persuasion, which we teach too. We kind of break it down where you got to get your lead generation right. You got to really master sales and persuasion, but then you have to have an operational roadmap that's going to help you scale. And so those are kind of the three big buckets that we talk about.
Like having all those SOPs in place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The SOPs. And I'm actually playing with I have an AI chatbot rolling out that actually helps you with all of your SOPs. So you literally program it.
Wow.
You literally program it. You feed it your basic outline, and then you can literally ask it, hey, what's the best practice we said we're supposed to do for this? So instead of your team coming to you all the time, you can say, hey, ask Ren or ask the bot, right? Or it will, if it notices something that maybe you're not following a certain best practice, it'll ping you. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool. Like it's like your operational assistant. Yeah.
Your COO.
It's like your COO, but it's AI and it costs $80,000 a year. So
dang.
Yeah,
that's crazy though. Just crazy, like this explosion of AI right now. But it's all, I love it because it's all like making me more efficient and making my life easier.
Yep.
So,
I used to work probably because I like working, but I probably would still work 65 to 70 hours a week, and it's got my workload down to like less than 35 hours a week.
Wow.
Like I'm kind of bored now. Like I'm like, all right, well, what's my next venture now? So I encourage everybody to just look into it and learn about it as much as they can. Surround themselves with people that are dedicated to being on the cutting edge. Yeah. Is super important right now, because what's going to happen the next 2 years is going to blow everyone's mind away. Yeah. It's going to blow everyone's. We have no idea. Like we think we know, but what the world's going to look like even 2 to 3 years from now, it's going to be pretty mind blowing. I don't think I'm one of those people, but I feel like I've been feeling that way. Just like not even like real estate stuff, like our schooling system or like banking and stuff. It's just, I feel like we're
things are about to really
Yes.
change a lot for us.
Yeah, the school system is another topic, right? We could probably do a whole podcast on that. I'm sure, Casey, right? I would love to. Maybe maybe I can have both of you on my podcast. I'd love to talk about that.
Yes, I'd love to.
Sometime. I'd love if you ladies are open to it, I'd love to have you on my podcast.
Yes, 100% yes.
Yes.
So
let me know when.
What is your podcast?
It's called Sales and Marketing Secrets.
Sales and Marketing Secrets. Is it on like Apple and Spotify?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one you're going to hear on there is what I do is just very simple right now. I just do a 7-minute clip where I'm just doing audio and giving people advice. I'm not, so I'm starting to get into doing an actual video format of a podcast. So, and my goal is to launch that next month. So maybe you guys could be one of the first.
Yes.
On my video podcast. Yay.
Love it. Would love to.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I guess we're wrapping up here towards the end of the show. Isaiah, do you have any other last minute hacks, tips, or tricks for our audience?
Yeah, if your goal is to go from 6 figures to 7 figures and you really want to create financial freedom, there's one word. It's called systems.
Yeah.
And that I define systems as people, getting yourself around the right people, and also developing the skill sets that you need. Then having a really good process that you can follow and finding models. So finding a model that is already proven that you can kind of take and make your own, develop a really good process, and then tools, having a really great technology that you're using to help your people and help them execute on their process.
Yeah.
Anywhere where I've struggled in business, it's because either there was a problem with the people, the process, or the tools, and you can fix almost any problem really, really fast by just kind of using that framework. And it doesn't sound sexy. I'm like, systems, like not sexy, right? But like, but it's like, it's one of those things where you can solve so many problems and save so much time, money, and energy just by focusing on systems and saying, okay, instead of this problem happening over and over again, how can we improve this so it doesn't happen over and over and over again?
Yeah. I'm at the point in my business where systems are sexy. So that's a I know. I'm like that. I'm at that point. And then we've had Sharon Lecter on here. She's kind of associated with our organization at EXP. And she's like, one of her things is assets are sexy. I'm like, I know I'm getting old when systems and assets are sexy.
And hers is more fun though, because it starts with ASS, right?
Yes.
Hers is more fun.
Yes.
I love it. Well, good. Okay, so everybody, we've had the ticker going at the bottom, but if you didn't notice, if you want to connect with Isaiah, it's isaiahcolton.com, and I'm sure from there you can get to ren360.io and learn more about that program. But yeah, I mean, this is
awesome.
Wealth of knowledge for sure. I'm very glad we got connected with you, and
thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yes. Yeah, we're excited to be on yours now.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. Somebody's gonna reach out very soon.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Isaiah, and everybody, our audience. Thank you for coming on. Don't forget to follow us on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Follow us on social media.
On our stories, we have the little bell that you can find me.
Yes. To keep following us.
I'm gonna have to stalk you.
Yes.
I'm expecting to follow.
There you go.
Rocky has his own page too.
Yes, Rocky the Realtor. Love it.
Rocky's got to be there.
We'll see everybody next week.
Yes. Have a good Monday evening, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.